That's not good.
The gold car, the copper car. So Brittany decided the car wasn't low enough, so she lowered it while driving, and
There's too much ass in the car.
yeah. Look, hey, but come make a derpy face with your derpy car. That's that derpy face with the derpy car.
Thank you to all the sponsors. Thank you to Y Plate Imports. Go over to their website, check out the inventory on their page. They're an importer out of Portland, and if you need anything else from them, they do great work, it looks like. Trenton with his JZX90 has had a rad time on the trip. It has been super reliable. It makes huge power. He built the thing himself. Go check out their website, check out his Instagram. Here we go, and Brittany's gonna plug.
Also got to give a huge shout out to BC Racing. So we're running their coilers on the Corvette, and this ride is super plush for driving across the country in the Corvette.
Yeah, so we have the upgraded Swift springs. They did the 20K, 10K on the Corvette, and it actually is, with being able to adjust it, we have everything on soft during the trip, and it's great.
It's been amazing. And of course, to East Coast Supercharging for helping sponsor the rig and getting that supercharger in the Corvette, so we're making 600 horsepower, and it sounds like a jet engine when it's going down the track.
I cut over. Thank you to ECU Master. If you need anything from them, go check out their website. They make all types of standalone computer equipment, accessories, and everything to go with it and wire your car up. Thank you so much, ECU Master. Zach. Hello, YouTube. Welcome to day 4 of driving at this point?
Of driving?
Yeah, fourth day of drifting on track, like the 7th or 8th day of the actual trip. We're already literally done with week 1. This is Brittany and Kevin. They're great personal friends of mine. I didn't shower yet, sorry. So we're here at NOLA Motorsports Park today, and they've already completed, we're almost halfway through. I think this is like, today is maybe halfway through Drift Week, which is actually 2 weeks long. And I just want them to chat with you guys and tell you what the experience is like, and then I'll ask them some questions. So just tell me what it's like doing Drift Week, what's hard, what's easy, what your adventure has been like. And Sai, scoot up, get in on them. They have a supercharged Corvette that I sold them. This was my 2nd Corvette, if you ever watch my channel. I only had this thing for like a couple weeks at most, and then Kevin made me sell it to him. Okay, get in here, get close, Sai.
It wasn't supercharged when we bought it for him. We supercharged it afterwards. But no, Drift Week has been
what I kind of expected, and what Aaron has been saying, it's a rolling shit show.
Yes.
But it's like the most fun rolling shit show. I don't know if anybody's made it clean, like without any issue from day 1 yet.
I think everyone's had at least one issue, including us. We've had
multiple issues. What do we have? We had a pulley brake. We had our water pump pulley brake, so the water pump was dead, which also took out our belts. We had the car catch on fire.
The car caught on fire at the last
Now the car doesn't want to start randomly.
I mean, it does. You just gotta baby it a little
But
bit.
that's just us in a newer Corvette. Some of these guys are driving in fully built race cars across the country, towing a trailer.
Yeah, some of them are towing trailers with their drift
I don't
cars,
understand,
which
but
is insane.
it is, it's epic. I'm already talking to them about extending Drift Week, like into Drift Week 3, but making it longer than 2 weeks.
So for us, it's a little bit extra exhausting and more difficult too, is because we own our own YouTube channel, we run our own YouTube channel. So on top of all the drifting, I'm also having to film all the videos and edit all of the videos on the drive in the passenger seat of the caged Corvette from track to track, which is interesting for sure.
And we have a dog that we had to leave behind because there's literally zero room in there. She's only 10, 11 pounds. But she's literally editing, so we'll drive all day, and then we drove, what, 6, 7 hours last night?
I edited an entire video on the drive last night from Houston all the way to New Orleans.
Yeah, so it's been great. I'm actually looking forward to Drift Week 3, and hopefully somehow making it longer. I don't know if that's possible. Is that possible?
You'll get with me after you finish Drift Week 2. Like, you haven't had the whole car burned down, you haven't had massive failure yet. Once you get to the massive failure mode, you might change your mind. Like, once the engine breaks, you're just like, well, I'm done. But there's so many cool people to hang out with that you're never really bored. When I'm off track, I'm having conversations with friends, watching friends drive. By the way, they're on track right now, which is why it's so loud, because we're in the middle of everything, YouTubing. So what is can you believe, you mentioned things like, somebody's in a full race car pulling a trailer. That does not tell the story.
No.
We've already done how much street driving now? At least no less than 22 hours, 21 hours of street driving.
Yeah,
Oh, that's just from where we started. You still have to get there, and everybody has to get to Tucson.
From Tucson to Houston
Right?
was over 1,000 miles. And then some people drove from like the East Coast all the way to Tucson, and then they're driving all the way back across to the East Coast.
We are all over the place, all over the country. We just live out of our truck in a trailer.
Homeless.
Not a liveaboard trailer, just a open
gooseneck trailer.
Gooseneck. Anyway, so we shipped the car to Tucson. We kind of cheated, and then we drove just the truck there, so that way.
We're lazy like that.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm saying, think about driving a race car. We're not talking, this is not a race car. This is a Corvette that's full interior.
Yeah.
Imagine driving a race car.
Yeah, we have full air conditioning, mostly full interior. The radio still works, the windows work. Some of these dudes
Stock
have,
exhaust, so it's quiet.
Super quiet on the highway.
Y'all can go 95.
We can,
do.
The race cars can
we
only
have
go
cruise
60.
control.
I put it on cruise at 90, and then that's where we cruise.
Some of these people have like no windows, no air conditioning. They have like dog boxes.
The
Like,
floorboard's on fire because there's no insulation. I don't know how these guys are doing it. I mean, I feel like we're in a lap of luxury
We're probably as comfortable as you could possibly get in a fully functional drift car to drive across country.
But the race cars, what's hilarious about that is they can only go 65 for some of them for various reasons because they're too loud inside. Did you see this? I don't want to insult him. Now I can't say the person I wanted to say.
It's okay.
Anyway,
So Thomas's Miata is towing a trailer. He can only make it about 100 miles between gas stops. Motorcycles make it further than that with only a 4-gallon gas tank. So and then he has to change his diff fluid at every stop because it's a quick change and it's not meant for
and they
that.
have to wear earmuffs because it's so loud in there.
Yeah.
He's literally gonna have to stop like probably 100
we
times.
did the math. It's 72 gas station stops along the way.
That is I mean, it's a smaller tank, but
So
even
here's
still, that's
how good
insane.
we have it. We made it from Houston to NOLA on one tank of fuel, and we still had 6 gallons left when we got here.
And that's
in a 20-gallon.
supercharged Corvette that makes just about 600 wheel horsepower.
So
not half
we
that.
literally filled up in Houston, made it all the way here, and then when we filled up, I still had 6 gallons left, which is so we're getting almost 30 miles to the gallon.
So another thing to think about is, so Kevin and Brittany have been drifting with me for a long time. Kevin actually went to some drift events with me, like at Pikes Peak Raceway back in 2005 in my stock 350Z. He'd been around with me and drifting since 2004, 2005, a long time. This is a completely different experience, isn't it? I picked tracks that have insanely good tire wear. I picked tracks that are much smaller than we normally go to, but are beautiful kart tracks.
Yeah.
Like, isn't this amazing? You're like, why didn't we have this 15 years ago?
Why didn't we have it 5 years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of, no, this is absolutely amazing. So he's right. When I didn't drift way back then, but he had a supercharged E36 M3 that was like a piece of junk and always broke down. The 350Z did great, but these were like in parking lots behind nightclubs. Like that's where Club Hush. Like literally, we'd be we'd be at a parking lot during the day, and then it would be a nightclub at night, and they were just drifting around, and that was like the cool thing to do. And
we did have a lot of fun though.
No, we did.
That's
of
the
course.
thing about drifting. We could
It's
be at a
always
$100 million facility like this NOLA Motorsports, or you could be at Club Hush, like some junk club, and you're still having the time of your life at both.
Yeah.
That's how dumb drifting is.
You can take
amazing.
it genuinely anywhere. I mean, I will say this so far is my favorite track that we've been to, NOLA Motorsports, just because it's really, the track itself is really well kept, but the route, essentially like the layout of the track that they've made it flows so well. Like it's my favorite track at least so far.
and it's wide enough. You feel comfortable.
It's also wide enough. I'm
And
not
it
as
has complicated
afraid.
corners that I like.
Yeah.
There's some
There
corners
are some
where it's not just
technical.
an S like that. It's a droom, 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 like over. So you like really you have
have
to
to
look
hit the
far
right
ahead
line.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So next up is they've had a 350Z. They were on hyperdrive with it. All that stuff. What's better, a 350Z or a supercharged Corvette?
I was actually really scared when Kevin decided to sell my 350Z without telling me and buy the Corvette, let alone buy a Corvette and then instantly supercharge it. Our Z made like what, 270 horsepower?
The Z just had it had a cage, e-brake, angle, nice diff, and like intake exhaust on a tune. Like it made 280 wheel.
Super solid, super reliable drift car, and I loved it.
She hit walls with it. I hit people with it. We never had to work like other cars. We never had to work on it other than when you hit a wall. Other than that, mechanically, it was completely sound.
Super sound.
The Corvette has been good, but it's had quirks, and the Corvette has a lot of electrical issues. Like not just this one. Everybody's Corvette has electrical issues. The fuel gauge doesn't work. Lights randomly do weird stuff.
The fuel gauge kind of sometimes works when it wants to.
So the 350Z I think is all around a more solid car, but the Corvette has, it's already V8 swapped.
Even prior to supercharging it, it had so much more power. It was so much, honestly, in terms of driving, it was easier to drive than the 350Z in my opinion.
But before we sell them on Corvettes, we should go buy 2 or 3 to hold on to them, so that way when people go buying them in droves like they did 350Zs, we have...
When the price goes up, we'll have a couple for sale.
No, it is. It's absolutely amazing, actually. It's a really good car.
And supercharging it, again, scared me because I was like, I don't know if I could have handled, because I'm still new to drifting in the grand scheme of things, and I wasn't sure if I could handle the power, but it makes it that much easier to drive.
It didn't ruin it. It made 600 horsepower in 91. Aaron just drove it. You need to drive it here. You drove it the little kart track.
It is so easy to drive. It's like cheat mode. It's just like up, up, down, left, right. Up, down, right, left, right, BA, select, start.
Contract.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Konami code.
Yeah.
This is how you know you're old.
Do you know that side?
Yes.
Yeah, you're old too.
Yes. Kids don't understand that.
Yeah. Well, kids don't drift because they don't have cars.
No, it is. It's kind of cheater car, but it makes it nice because you can just go out and drive and like do cool. You can change up how you drive though. So if normally in one car that's underpowered in a certain way that you have to drive, this one you can 3rd gear, 4th gear, crazy big Manji entry and just like flick it backwards, and it has all the power in the world to pull you out of it and steering angle and all that. And it just has like basic cut knuckles. Like it doesn't have, it has an e-brake, a spool in the diff, the supercharger, and the knuckles.
Yeah.
It's caged. But
it's not even cut knuckles, by the way. They just drill a new hole in the knuckle.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So they are full-time YouTubers. They travel around the world. They have a magical lifestyle. How do you like YouTubing? I mean, obviously you like YouTubing. I can answer this for them. This is so stupid.
You know.
You like it?
I love
stress.
It is very stressful. It's essentially though given us the opportunity to live our dream life. Like we said, we're homeless. We don't have a house. We travel full time across the world. The way we afford it is we actually typically stay with subscribers 99% of the time as we travel across the country.
And then I have a secret OnlyFans for me that she doesn't know about. No, I'm joking. That wouldn't work.
Subscribe, please.
No.
No, so it's really rad because
it's a lot of It's a lot of sacrifices that we make on one end of our life to be able to afford other things. A lot of people, oh, it must be nice, it's so awesome, you get to do whatever you want. The thing is, like eating kind of terribly or wherever you can, staying for free with people, staying on
We
floors.
couch surf a lot.
Yeah.
We don't have a home, but we essentially, like our life revolves around cars. We have all the cars that we could ever dream of in just about every motorsport you could imagine, and that's all we do day in and day out. It is a lot of work, a lot more, and Aaron can attest to that too. It's a lot more freaking work than you would imagine, but...
And there's no guaranteed paycheck.
There's that too.
You have no idea. You can pump out 50 videos in a month and get paid almost nothing. Or you could pump out 5 videos in a month and make a ton of money, and there's no way of knowing what's going to happen.
It definitely has its pros, its cons, but for us, we love it. Like the pros greatly outweigh the cons. Especially it works that both of us love traveling. Aside from cars, it's one of our other biggest things that we enjoy doing. So being able to have the opportunity to like go to Japan and drift, or go over into Norway, or we just got invited to the Nürburgring, like stuff like that is super rad. And usually it's subscribers that live around the world that invite us to different countries because they want to hang out. And they'll invite us to like hang out with them, like we'll have a place to stay, which is super rad, and then we'll have vehicles to drive, and we get to experience a whole nother kind of version of that motorsport, whether it's drifting or off-roading or rock crawling or anything.
Yeah, because we kind of do it all. I don't know why, but we do.
Because they're all
it's all fun.
They're all fun.
I wish my subscribers would invite me to places.
Be more likable, Aaron. Right. Be more likable. That's the problem.
That is true.
Quit making fun of people, Aaron.
Wear more crop tops.
Yeah, I have a tummy.
We gotta all start working.
We've been eating so badly on Drift Week, and she survives it, and Sai and I got fat. Sai, like both of us, as we like go on adventures and stuff, like we eat, like in Japan, we just eat non-stop.
Oh yeah, but Japan's
It's hard,
same
it's
thing on
hard
Drift
not
Week.
to
Japan's
eat.
amazing. I will eat until I like want to throw up in Japan.
Yeah.
So they have been on a group, like, so Kevin has already said he's been on adventures with me. Like the first adventure drifting he went with me was to Colorado, and he just like ran off and rescued homeless people or something with my truck. We don't need to go into that.
Yeah.
But I was just saying, all the adventures we go around the world, all the experiences you guys have, Ebisu, Drift Week, local events with us, all this stuff. what is your favorite type of experience drifting? Where do you just like, what's magical? I guess it's also different, it's hard to say. But for myself, it was always Ebisu, and I love my own events, but I also have to work at them, so it's a bit different. And those are also very like small bite-sized chunks for people that don't have, you know, weeks to spend, because most people can't go on trips for weeks. It's ridiculous. Like that's something we have lifestyle stuff for.
I will say that I feel like, so this Drift Week so far has probably been as close to the Ebisu experience. We've gone twice to Drift Matsuri, and this is probably as close as we've gotten to that, where it feels a lot more grassroots. It's just a bunch of people with the exact same passion doing rowdy stuff together and having the time of our lives.
Everybody loves each other here. I mean, you break down, people are helping. I don't know. It's just this is actually pretty amazing. Japan is on a different level just because of the culture. We love the culture there, but as far as Drift Week, this is. I'd
put this almost on par with the Drift Week, or I'd put Drift Week on par with an experience in Japan. Yeah. The only difference is the sushi here isn't as good.
Yeah. Well, there's that. No, but the people are amazing.
No, I wouldn't.
Well, that's pretty easy. Is there anything y'all got, like you guys, you lady, are passionate about nowadays?
We've gotten really big into off-roading. We recently bought an Ultra 4 car that we're going to be racing at King of the Hammers, which is the most difficult and grueling off-roading race essentially in the world, is what they claim it to be.
Harder than Drift Week?
It is. So it's essentially. I would say it's at least probably between an 8 and 12 hour
race car. It's in a race car.
It is an
Too bad we're not. We
race
should just
car.
be in our Jeep and we'd be fine.
It's literally like just a tube chassis race car that is built to go off-roading at 100 miles an hour in the desert, and then scour up rocks and stuff. And it's a 10-hour long, give or take,
12 to 15 hours.
Yeah.
You don't get to stop and pee. You don't get to stop and eat. You literally shove a bar in your mouth as you're driving, and if you pee, you're literally just go.
Seriously? Yeah. Like catheter style?
You can, people do condom catheters.
A lot of people do diapers, like just adult diapers. Some people go nothing and they just
So here's what I was told real quick, so we don't get way into it, is that a lot of times you have to jump out and winch or work on the vehicle, change a tire. If you have a catheter, you just run it underneath, like a tube underneath the car anyway, so you just pee and it goes out. Oh. Or you just pee on yourself and there's so much dirt and it's so hot that it just dries up and gets full of dirt and you're dried anyway. She has to wear like a Shiwi cup that sticks there. Or she just has to pee. But everybody's told us, like, you just go. You don't actually get a bag, because if you jump out and you've got a bag full of pee now. Anyway, it's a really.
We also enjoy off-roading a lot.
Real quickly, a normal catheter goes inside your pee hole, right?
Yeah.
Does this go inside or outside?
No, condom catheter.
It's like a condom catheter.
It's just a condom that you roll on.
Yeah,
on guys.
I'm sure some might do the surgery.
No. On guys, you just slip on a condom, or you just don't. And then same thing. Girls have a cup,
I feel like I don't know how we got into that. Off-roading rocks, we do that as well, and it's just as cool as drifting, honestly, just in a totally different way.
Back to the catheter thing. I don't think I could pee sitting in a race car. I don't know if I can.
You don't have a choice.
When you're getting beat to crap, you don't have a choice. Like when you have to pee and you're slamming rocks
okay, so you've already done it then.
I haven't yet, no. I assume you just don't have a choice.
I couldn't poop myself in a race seat. I don't think it's not poop. I'd just be like, I'm done with this race, guys.
You are careful with your diet the days leading up to it, but like our qualifying race that we went to was only about 4 hours long, so we didn't really have to experience that. But King of the Hammers it's anywhere between 8 to 12, maybe even 15 hours if you break down in the middle of, and if you're in the desert, like, and you break down, there's people, I mean, the longest track, it goes out like 70 something miles long.
You could be 70 miles out in the middle of the desert and nobody's stopping to help you because they're racing.
Luckily we have comms and radios in the event. But
so if it's a 10-hour race, I don't think 3 to 4 minutes would matter for a bathroom break. I love how I'm getting trapped up on the back.
If you're trying to podium, probably not, but you don't want to stop. It takes, because getting out and in is...
Imagine if you're the mechanic and you're just like going over to the seat afterwards and you're like...
You'll have to show like a photo of the Ultra 4 car so that you
because you're in your suit, so it's not like you can just... I guess a guy, we can undo the bottom of the suit, just do it, and then get... But her, she has to get completely...
Yeah.
Plus getting into and out of the rig. Anyways, But it's one of the, like, you do anything, like people at one race a few years ago, like, lost all their coolant, and like one of the girl co-drivers peed in the radiator to get them going again. Like, it's that kind of a, like, you do whatever, like, any means possible.
The peeing in a radiator thing is way better than peeing in your race seat, in your race suit.
I don't know. I said real quick. I meant like 20 seconds. We're like 5 minutes into this. Like,
no, it's fine. It's good content. Okay, so they're professional YouTubers. They travel around the world. It's a dream job. I think it's rad. They're my friends, so I saw them have normal jobs and then slowly get into that. And it's just very cool to see people go do stuff. Do you have anything to chat with me about? No?
I don't know how we could ever go back, I think is the biggest like FU to like this kind of lifestyle. Because I don't think Aaron could either. Aaron used to work his ass off. I mean, 20 hours, I know, but it was like 20 hours a day, 7 days a week for his own company, but like never sleeping, just stressed out. And then he went a different direction. But like, if all of a sudden all this went away, I don't know.
I would rather be poor than go do something I don't want to do. And I mean that for real. Like I would rather, my total bills for the like 4 or 5 years, like a couple years ago, were $200 for all rent, utilities, everything, and maybe like $79 or something for my cell phone bill. I had no credit card bills, no payments, no loans, no anything.
Right.
So it allowed me the freedom to go do whatever I wanted. And I mean, like that's just what I would do. I just have no space. I literally lived in a garage space of a friend, so I could travel and I could do things, and we just do what we need to.
Yeah, no, and I agree, honestly. I don't think that I could go back to like a 9 to 5 after this. Like I'd have to.
You mean
find,
a 7 to 7?
Yeah, which is what I was. I worked in a dealership before, so yeah, it was definitely like 7 to 7,
6 days a week.
Yeah.
And y'all been doing this for about 2 years now?
Yeah, just barely over 2 years. We've had the YouTube channel going. By the way, it's Litebrite, Litebrite. Like, subscribe, and share. Go check us out. We do rad shit every day.
We do pretty cool shit.
We do really rad shit.
That's almost the weirdest thing, is that because we do so much different stuff. Like I just saw a comment earlier today. They're like, "That's weird Jeep stuff." And I'm like, "We didn't say it was Jeep stuff. We said it was drifting stuff." But people are very specific in what they like to watch, and we just do all of it. So
anything motorsports we're usually into. We have the Corvette. We have a supercharged Corvette. We have a Mark V Supra that makes 700 wheel horsepower. We have an Ultra 4 car for desert racing. We have a Jeep with a Hemi swap for rock crawling. We have a side-by-side for other shit. We have a Grom recently that we bought. I have a Mark IV Jetta show car. There's
the
more.
Ram.
Oh, we have a Ram 3500 that we tow everything with, plus the 37-foot gooseneck trailer that we haul everything.
So it's everything.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Pretty simple. All they have is, and they don't have a home to store it all in.
No,
it's ridiculous.
All our cars are scattered like all over the country, which is the best. Well, it gets technical, but it's fun. Yeah.
What have you learned? Have you learned anything during Drift Week or anything recently? You got to learn a lesson on this trip. What's the lesson you learned? I learn lessons all the time, and they're awful to learn, and then I forget them.
Driving across the country in a caged Corvette is not fun. It's honestly though, out of all our cars, this is probably the most uncomfortable car that.
Oh, hold on.
Driving across the country.
No, the suspension itself is actually really good. Like
super cush.
If we had a regular seat and no cage, I would say it was fantastic. The ride quality is, but the bucket seat with the cage makes it absolutely atrocious.
Let's put it this way. Editing a video for 6 hours in the passenger seat of a caged Corvette
We can cut that cage out right
not
now.
fun.
Got that Sawzall?
I think, do you not have to have a cage on
What did we
Drift
learn? I think sometimes I'm not that kind of person.
Keep a fire extinguisher in your car at all times.
I'm not the kind of person to kiss the keep it simple stupid. Aaron warned me multiple times, keep it simple stupid, don't go do all this to your vet. Although the supercharger and everything has been great. I know that was his like greatest worry, but it does make it easier just to like have a stock something, so everything's stock, and no matter what you do, it's all stock and you just run to the parts store. The more you start to build it, the more you make it custom, the less chance you have of being available to just buy something off the shelf. So there's that, but although...
I think you can see that too though. The cars that are here that are like the race cars are definitely having more issues. However minor or huge they are along the way.
Somebody snapped a 1,000 horsepower half shaft axle in a 300 horsepower SR car. Like, what?
Yeah, it's called an aftermarket part. They fail.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, all aftermarket parts fail. It's a known thing. Yeah.
If you want to have fun and as much track time as possible, the keep it simple, stupid rule actually works really well. We went a little above with the supercharger, but it's super rad, so it's fine.
Well, ECS does, so East Coast Supercharging is the one that did the supercharger, but they also have diff braces, trans brace,
Yep.
torque tube brace. They have all these things that they were trying to help us with that they put on the vehicle to make sure that we didn't have the torque tube explode like, what's his face last year?
Matt Field?
Matt
Yeah.
Field. Matt Field's torque tube exploded. That's super bad because that's a pain in the butt to change. Sometimes the transaxle, the transmission and rear diff like crack and break. So we did a lot of those preventative measures from East
to make
Coast
sure that
Supercharging,
adding
yeah.
the supercharger didn't give us other problems down the line. And so far it's been super great. The only issue we had was really the cracked pulley, but that was literally just
was a
change
water
the-
pump.
Yeah, you change the water pump out and good to go.
All right, I think we're all done. Thank you so much to my friends. Can you grab the car for us?
Yes.
Go rev it. Keep rolling, Si.
If it starts, ever since it caught on fire, it doesn't want to start.
In editing, cut this in at the beginning, okay? And then also at the end.
Pump it, baby. That's all I figured out. I just keep pumping to fuel the gas. Now pump it.
You listen?
Pump it. I don't know why it's doing this. It's kind of scary.
Look, Si, we're filming this, and we both just, Kevin and I saw it at the same time. We're like, that's not moving correctly. Sounds wild though. Come back from here and get the same view. I want to shoot it like this for her revving.
I didn't bring the... We need a piece of pipe. We split the map sensor in half.
That's wild. Can we rev it up again real quick from this angle? Alright, that's good. Can you get a close-up of Brittany too, like smile? Just look towards the side and smile for a second.